This is your second Eurovision. We watched one last year. You enjoyed the weirdness. We switched off Eurovision right after the performances. We specifically locked in and written our guesses immediately after the end of Eurovision, but you still don't know who won last night. We'll also talk about the acts we actually liked, because this is Eurovision. What wins is not necessarily what is the best. We'll see if you got it right, or I got it right, or we both got it wrong.
Okay.
Before we talk about the winners, tell me about top 3 performances you like the most.
My top 3 would be France, Ukraine, and Romania.
Why?
Well, with France, it was really enjoyable to watch, and she has a really good voice. Everything performance-wise, it was all there for me. Ukraine, it had its moment, the high pitch, and it was really impactful and memorable. And then for Romania, it was also fun. It felt unique, and there was also a lot of variation with her singing. What about your top 3?
Personally liked, weirdly, Lithuania, our Lithuanian Braliukas. Thank you very much. Very nice performance. Eurovision is it's a weird contest, right? It's not about the singing or the song or the performances. It's kind of hard to say. And Lithuania was this beautiful Eurovision borderline of, it's almost cringy, it's good singing but not quite spectacular, and staging is just weird and interesting, where like it kind of works. Top 2, second place, I'd say Bulgaria. Very fun performance. We we couldn't find a good stream here in Spain to watch Eurovision, so I was looking online, and I found BBC One with Graham Norton, amazing commentator. And for some reason, the stream that I found, at least one of them, was for visually impaired people. So every 20 seconds or so, an announcer would just describe what's happening on the screen. And there was that moment in the performance where the dancers and the performer took up their red chairs, right? And you listen to the song, and then it goes quiet, and the announcer says, "And now the dancers and performers raise their red chairs and walking around in circle." It was, I mean, as great as this exists, it is the weirdest way to listen to music. Somebody describes you what's happening on stage. Beyond that, performer was dynamic. It's some weird Eurovision sounds, Dara da Dinga, Burabakanga, Bukaramanga. And the last one, I would say Ukraine, for a very kind of particular reason. Eurovision is about memorable moments, right? You're watching 25 performances in a row, and I think with most people, you know, you have a few drinks as well. By the time you watch the last performer, you think, who was the first one? Who's the second one? You completely forget. And so a lot of the time it's just about having a moment that stands out and becomes memorable, right? And the lady there, I forgot her name, she had this 25, 30-second note that goes from low to high in a dramatic fashion. And that, I remember that. It stuck with me. And obviously, I'm completely unbiased here. Obviously, this is 100% fair judgment. That stood out to me. I quite liked it. It was memorable. Was it the best song? No. Was it the best performance? No. But that moment was memorable. I want to give a shout out to Moldova. Man, this was pure Eurovision. You just sing your country's name for 3 minutes, and it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. Viva Moldova. And obviously, after the epic sex guy from 2010, you gotta enjoy Moldova. Dun, 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 dun. Which countries do you think could have won Eurovision? What were your guesses?
So my top 3 is Australia, Ukraine, then France. I think Australia, it was very powerful. The voice was really amazing. It's impactful. The whole vibe made it feel like Celine Dion style, but it was really good.
It's also on my list, right, for potential winners that I thought yesterday. I didn't love the performance, even though it's a great performance. It just felt more like the standard music. Like, I like Eurovision because it's weird. I wouldn't watch Eurovision if it was just a competent song contest. It would just be too boring, right? You just go on the radio. But yeah, I think Australia just has just a very positive, like, political vibe at the moment.
Despite the performance being like impeccable, I felt like it wasn't unique. Maybe that's why it wasn't my favorite, but because of all other elements, I can imagine that it can be one of the winners. My second would be Ukraine. I think that the performance, it was really moving, and I felt like it really hit me emotionally, and that might be a significant thing that judges would look for, right, in someone's performance. So that's why I would place it probably my second.
I think it would do well. That was my impression yesterday, but I didn't think it quite had the unique factor in terms of either staging or singing, because there are better singers out there, right?
I'm just also remembering, let's say with American Idol, there's a bunch of like really talented singers, but the judges always go to like who delivered well in terms of like emotionally, who moved the audience, and that necessarily doesn't mean the best singer as well.
Also, keep in mind, I know who won, and so maybe I'm wearing this today for a reason. So we'll see. But
you're already revealing.
We haven't seen the results when we looked at our answers, so this is all, for her at least, a complete novelty.
Australia and Ukraine are the most likely to win in my head. But if it were none of the two, my last pick would be France. It was fun and it didn't have anything that I would think would disqualify as a winner. It had all the elements there.
I didn't feel France had a chance. It's an excellent song. The singer just has this full range of voice, and it goes quite low and quite high. I can probably sing better. But what I absolutely hated about the song was the sound mixing. The voice was too loud and the music was too quiet. I thought it was just maybe our stream at first, and we would listen to the song again on our Eurovision YouTube channel. It sounded exactly the same. It just, like, the microphone is too close to her face, and it completely overpowers the music that's playing, this dramatic kind of orchestral music. When the beat drops, right, when she does the chorus, like, it doesn't feel impactful. And after looking at it again, it seems like she's got this microphone that's attached to her face, right? As opposed to the Ukrainian singer or others, they have a portable microphone that they can move around. And I think that makes a huge difference. That allows a singer to control the volume of their voice. As a song, like, it just didn't work. I just heard a music track and a vocal track, and they just didn't meld for me. And I think it will be the same for a whole bunch of people, especially the jury, who would recognize the technical aspects of this and just be a bit disappointed.
So who's your top three?
Saying again that the winner is not somebody necessarily who has the best song, a factor that changed my opinion was the constant ads saying that every person can vote up to 10 times. And after last year's controversy, where a certain government may or may not have influenced people to vote extra for their specific entry, I thought, hey, this country would probably do the same again. A very good chance I thought Israel would have to win this year's Eurovision. The song was, it was okay. It was nothing particularly exciting. The dances were amazing. Didn't think it deserved to be anywhere close, but I think it had a pretty good chance because of politics, right? It's Eurovision. What else do you expect? And the other two choices, I think I agree with you, Australia, because of that, well, bringing a classic kind of American-style show music, which Australia is very good at, to European audiences. Yeah, it's nothing amazing, but it's different for Eurovision. And since, again, people like Australia, I thought politically, right, it could be a decent choice. And the last one, which I think had a very good chance, and I changed it, initially thought Poland would get there, but then we watched the performance again, and I changed my mind. I'll talk about it in a second why. And I thought Bulgaria. Why Bulgaria? It is Euroslop, crazy, nonsensical lyrics, good performance, like very fun, dynamic performance, spinning chairs, all this kind of stuff, and a hot girl. You bring these three things together, and you have a very good chance of winning. You bring the youth vote, you bring the dude vote, right? And it's artistic enough and curious enough that jury can vote for it as well.
So why did you rule out Poland?
I thought that currently, politically, an American-style song is not going to do well in Europe, right? We're going through some dislike of some aspects of America right now, and I think it wouldn't perform well because it's too standard American music. I mean, very high-quality American-style music, but it stands out in a negative way. Let's start with the top five. I'm going to put on the screen my guesses and her guesses. I'm not going to necessarily say that it's in the same order that they're going to win, but we think that have a good chance to be in the top 5, for example, right? So number 5 is Italy.
No. Okay. Okay, that's surprising. Again, I really thought the Italy was very, what's it called? Not traditional. What's the term?
Generic Italian music, Italian disco. Like, it's nice, but
Yeah.
there's not much there.
I thought the Italy performance was very old-fashioned, and so I really didn't consider it as as making it to the top. I made this comment that it actually looked like something you expect at a wedding, like a performer.
Well, it was wedding related. Did you see that kiss? Oh my!
But it also
God.
felt like that, like hiring
Yeah.
a singer for your wedding. That's what I'd expect the performance to be.
Okay, number 4, Australia. So did very well, clearly, right at number 4, but not top 3.
That's well deserved.
Yeah, it's a good song. Yeah, stands out in a way. Yeah, it's the type of music that a lot of Europeans would have heard on the radio growing up, right? Celine Dion style. And people like Australia have a very positive feeling towards it. Excellent, but not quite like special enough. Number 3, Romania.
Well, I really like Romania, actually. Yes. But that's interesting.
Okay. What did you think about Romania?
It was cool in a way. It felt modern. I thought that the whole performance, like everyone was just like really dedicated and on stage. It was weird about the title being "Choke Me." I thought
I don't think we would recognize what she was singing about until we watched the version with subtitles. I would say Romania is probably the best like song and performance, the best act this year. The singing, outstanding singing again, low high, right? The mixing was great. The staging was great, right? Acting, that lady in white doing the shouting. Again, I don't necessarily like the song, but I can appreciate that it's probably the best, just overall package. Okay, number 2 though, Israel.
Well, you expected, and I was also with you on your what you foresaw.
It's just an okay song. That's maybe the only disappointment. It's just an okay song. Again, the only impression we're left with these gorgeous women in these white and black dresses, right? That you look at the performance and the guys in the middle, the singer in this black jacket, but you can only see the girls walking behind them. Right? And if that's the only impression you have after watching somebody's performance, like, that's probably wasn't that special. Not a bad song. It's all fine.
So they earned second place this year and also last year, right?
Yeah. The way the voting works, right, it's 50-50 public and jury. So the jury, I don't know who they are, music professionals, some important people, and the public. So they got more public vote than jury vote, like second highest public vote. That probably implies there was a concerted campaign or people really liked the song. But I didn't feel the song was anything special.
But yeah, the girls were gorgeous.
And number one, who could it be?
Oh my God.
Who could it be?
Really?
No, it's Bulgaria.
No way. Oh my God, you guessed it, and it's so weird. Like, I was really putting Bulgaria out of my list because if you have like a sexy hot girl and the dancing, the modern dancing, like it feels to me like a presentation where it could just win the by vote, but not necessarily the judges like, what is this nonsense joke. But
European audiences are not very complicated. Again, you have to tick the boxes, right? It has to be young people friendly, something weird, something quirky, dongara, banga, dingara, dunga, or whatever she's singing. That's memorable, right? It tickles your brain. It's a hot girl in a tight dress, and it's dynamic people moving around and looks kind of tasteful as well.
Well, the criteria seems very different from last year's winner then.
I think the criteria is what stands out. Okay, so congrats, Bulgaria. Let's wrap this up by talking about the least favorite performances of the night.
My least favorite would be Czechia. He was just singing, and then as I watched the performance, I forgot. I zone out. You just have the visuals with the mirrors and everything, but it didn't seem like it was enough to um, to keep me engaged.
Mm.
Still a good voice, but nothing to it stands out at all. Another would be Austria. It just felt like an participative entry, or like for the sake to be participating.
I have no idea what they were thinking after last year. Clearly, they didn't want to win it again. What a lame way as well to end, right? A pretty like entertaining couple of hours of television.
And another was Sweden, the one with the mask, the lady. Okay, that was interesting. It really hyped me up.
Every time we touch, have this feeling. Wasn't a fan of that as well. It started out like, hey, this could be one of those classic Swedish, techno dance music entries, and then it just didn't. It just didn't work. Some entries just have too much music and not enough singing, and this was one of those. I think they came back to the chorus, the beat like 3 or 4 times, and the singing was so repetitive. It's the same, whatever, 3 or 4 phrases. And you gotta do more. You just gotta do more to keep people entertained, right? You're competing with Viva Moldova, and that's entertaining. And if you just do the same thing over and over 3 or 4 times, it's kind of boring. Okay, the ones I didn't love, the ones that we haven't mentioned before, UK probably deservedly got last place with 1 point. It's the UK entry is so strange, right? Obviously, love the country, love the music that comes from there, but it's the performer. It's like he tried to appease what he thinks Eurovision people like, and did it insincerely, right? I'll just draw this parallel with Moldova, right? If you're gonna do Euro cringe and sing Ein, zwei, drei, it's gotta be sincere. You gotta be 100% in it, right? It's if you're self-aware that you're doing something quirky and funny and kind of cringy, then it doesn't work. It doesn't work. We completely forgot about this act, even though again it's like decent, right? It's entertaining enough. The computer face dances and he's walking on tables and he's singing Ein, zwei, drei. But it didn't feel like he was like it felt like to him it was a joke. And I want my Euro cringe to be genuine, to be authentic. I want the epic sex guy, right, who thinks he's the sexiest, coolest dude in the world, hip thrusting, right, as he does, and I'll remember that moment. And the parallel with Moldova song is like perfect, right? The guy comes in, he's not pretending to love Moldova or appease his country. No, he goes in and he loves Moldova, right? And that's weird and it's cringe, but that's the point of Eurovision in my biased eyes. And to wrap this up, let's talk about just the moments we enjoyed. Not specifically performances, just moments in the performances that we liked throughout. Anything that just stood out to you?
I really enjoyed Greece, but it lacked something. It showed this visual on stage where he goes through different rooms and there are different characters, like a lady, a statue, a white man statue, and then a gold man statue. It felt very unique and interesting. All the style, the cat, the emojis, it was fun. I think that it was really trying to be, in the category of espresso macchiato or the sauna, which is just like
Sauna.
not too serious, which is what I expect with Eurovision, right? Just like you described with Moldova, that kind of thing.
Viva
It had
Moldova.
yeah, it felt, as you described, so sincere. It was nice, but it lacked something. What are your favorite moments?
Cyprus. Those abs, holy moly. The glitter and whatever cream she did to put on there and the amount of workout. I looked at it again. She has like 4 or 5 backup dancers, and none of them have abs that are as good as hers. Ooh, fantastic. Song is okay, nothing special.
It looked too much of a Shakira dance.
What's wrong with Shakira?
Yes.
Them abs don't lie. Another quick visual, Belgium, where she's standing in the middle. I might find a screenshot. It's in the middle of that little walkway, and there's this line that goes around, just like a portal into some other universe, like a very striking, cool visual. Really enjoyed that. Just that little one moment. With Czechia, I do agree with you that the performance wasn't quite great, but that one moment in the beginning where he touches the mirror and it kind of like wobbles and flies away, that looked gorgeous. That set maybe expectations too high as to what we're going to see, but the fact that they can do these things in live performance and move cameras around in such a way, that's just fantastic. And lastly, Finland. What a so-so song. The vocals is like background vocals to the violin, but the violin was fantastic. So I learned that the violin wasn't played live. It's pre-recorded because I told you the only thing that has to be played live is the singing. But you could tell that the intensity of that violin player, the lady. And there was this moment in the end when she's got her arms, and you just see this toned like back muscles that she's struggling to. I don't forget how you play violin, but whatever you play violin, you just see back muscles flexing as she's just going at it on this violin. It looked fantastic. Okay, and let's finish this up. What are your overall impressions?
It was fun. I would really say that this year compared to last year, we had better singers, or maybe the performance was like, I mean, maybe everyone was just singing in high notes, and that made it more like, wow, how do you say it? It showcased more that great talent than last year, like highlighted. How about you?
Dun, 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 dun.